with this latest episode of the Love Across the Sea podcast, YouTube channel, all that. Today, we're going to discuss do you need a lawyer for the K1 visa process? I'm in a member of a visa group on Facebook, and this question comes up a lot. Myself, I asked this question too before I started the K1 process with me and my fiance, but I saw that for the most part, I wasn't gonna go with a lawyer. I like to do things myself, so I was able to figure it out. But should you get a lawyer? Okay, and in certain circumstances, a lawyer can be useful. Yes, meaning usually if it's a situation where there's immigration issues of the past, like let's say your foreign fiance, they maybe overstayed a visa, or there's some issue somehow with immigration illegally, or there was an issue with there's issue with maybe criminal record, or issues on your end with criminal record or visa things yourself. If you have if legal matters may come into play, then you may want to consider getting a lawyer. I'll say this again. If legal matters may be an issue, whether it's on your end or your fiance's end, you may want to get a lawyer, an immigration lawyer, just to try to sort things out. If you're just a standard person, maybe you have a divorce on your file, or maybe you got a divorce in your file, but maybe that's just about it. Maybe a divorce. Maybe your partner got a divorce, but nothing more really. Then you really don't need a lawyer to fill. A lawyer will be of no use to you in that circumstance. The K1 visa packet, it's two parts. I'll break it down as two parts. You have your form, your I-29F form. That's your basic paper app. That's the application part where you're just putting the information. You're putting the who's, the what's. You're just filling this all out. Okay. And that's essentially you're just taking information that you and your fiance already have, and you're putting it on paper. It's like a job application. It's the I-29F is a application. So you're just filling out the boxes. I mean, as long as you got your own hands and eyes, then yeah, you can do that yourself quite easily. No lawyer needed for that. The second part of the K1 packet that you're going to mail off is going to be the photos, the proof of meeting, the proof of travel, proof of relationship, all that kind of things, all those sort of things. Your proof of your citizenship. That's all stuff you have already. If you've already traveled to their country, you have the proof somewhere. I would say always, whatever, you get an itinerary, you get whatever, save it to your phone immediately, so you just have it all. You have it all somewhere. It just comes to compiling everything. Now, depending on the country that your partner lives in, it can be difficult sometimes to get things like birth certificates and such things, identification they may need to get a passport, identification they may need to get the visa later on. But to originally submit the K1, there's not gonna be anything needed on their part. So on their end, as long as you have just the basic information you're gonna need to know your fiance's full name, and you need to know it in their language and how to write in their language. You're gonna need to know that. Their parents' name, where they're from, her job history, or his job history, depending on whether your fiance is male or female, and information on whether or not they travel to other countries. Information on whether they travel to the United States. I mean, that's all things that doesn't take a lawyer to do. Okay. So, as I said before, unless there's some legal issues you had dealing with immigration, in particular, you or your fiance, then you don't need a lawyer to be involved. And compiling the actual packet that you send off to get the K1 visa process started, compiling that, there's lots of I learned what I knew from YouTube and K1 visa groups, and I was able to put mine together. I got approved, no problems. It's common. Just Google it. It's out there. You can put it together yourself. Now, my friend, we did ours at the same time. He needed some help because he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's just not. He had the time. I don't know. He had the time. I don't know why he didn't want to get on it, but some people just don't. Just like some people do their own taxes, some people don't do their own taxes. It's the same situation. Even though now taxes are just, you put your information in, click, 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 your taxes are done for the most part. But sometimes you might have complications. You might need a little help. But then sometimes people are just, I won't say lack the will, but they're not, some people just don't want to deal with the paperwork of anything. Some people just hate any kind of paperwork. They don't want to deal with it. And I do get that. And if that's the case, if you don't want to deal with the paperwork, I still say don't get a lawyer for that, because a lawyer is for legal matters. If it's not a legal matter, you have other options. You can go with a K1, a visa service that you still have to do all the homework. You got to get the names, the dates, the information. You have to give them all the information, and they'll just put it all together for you. So let's say you got your tickets, you got your fiance's name, their information. They're going to require you get all that together, but they'll wrap it all up for you in the packet, make a nice little presentation, and send it off. As so far what I've seen, it makes very little difference, because the USCIS, they just go off of. I mean, they're a government organization. They're just checking boxes here. They got this, got that, got that. It's not going to sway them. It's not going to really sway them, because it's not their job to approve the visa, the first process. Now, I do see that the presentation can come in effect at the very end. Once you get to the visa interview and they open it up and you got a well-made application, now that can be a big difference. That can take your interview from, it can take it from 20 minutes to 5 minutes. If you got a well-made packet, then yes, it will matter at the end, at the interview stage. A well-made front-loaded packet will make the interview process easier for your fiance, because then most of the questions will be answered, and the official will probably give her a light interview as opposed to a heavier, more in-depth interview. Okay, so that part does count. If you're the type that, like I said, if you're the type that you don't like paperwork, or maybe you're too busy, or maybe you don't want to do it all yourself, or maybe you have extra money to burn, I would say don't even think about a lawyer. Get a K1 visa service. Rapid visas out there, but the one I was recommending is the Visa Coach Fred Wall, because in 2016, when I first went down this route, I wasn't sure yet, but I decided I'll give him a call, because I saw an ad somewhere, and I said, okay, I'll give him a call, talk to him a little bit, and he gave me some really good advice. He gave me some good advice. And to me, if someone's willing to give you some good advice, that's the person you need to go with. And I'm part of his mailing list, and his clients always say good things about him. And I would say go to Visa Coach Fred Wall. I'll probably put a link down there. I'm not sponsored by him or nothing, but if he wanted to, I would be obliged. I would, I would partake. But I'll go with someone like him, also because he seems to be lower cost, like around $1,000. Rapid Visa is a little bit more. And I've seen some other services that are even like $5,000. Stay away from that, because in the end, the service is not going to make your visa approved faster. They have no power for that. The government and their processing times, that's what determines everything. They have no power to make your visa go faster or slower. So as long as the package put together well, you're going to get approved. The question is, do you want to put the packet together yourself, or do you want the packet to be put together by someone else? That's the only thing that's going to be the difference. And either way, though, unless you have some kind of immigration issues or legal issues, don't even bother. Don't even think about a lawyer. If you must, Rapid Visa. But I say I suggest go with Fred Wall if you're going to do that route. If you're not going to do it yourself. If you want to do it yourself, there's many resources out there to do the K1 package yourself. And I'll put some links down below. Thanks for whoever listened to this video. Have a good day.